my name is Grace and welcome to Grace Adventures. I am so sorry I haven't made a video in such a long time. I've been occupied with life, work, going to theme parks, and yeah. Okay, now with the excuses out of the way. On Friday, August 29th, 2025, Busch Gardens Tampa announced that the Stanley Falls Flume will be closing permanently, and the last day to ride it is September 7th. Stanley Falls Flume is a log flume ride manufactured by the defunct Arrow. It opened in 1973, making it one of the oldest functioning attractions at Busch Gardens Tampa. In the 1970s, Anheuser-Busch, the owners of Busch Gardens at the time, started to experience a period of significant growth driven by the previous years of success with their brewery tours, bird gardens, animal habitats, and their monorail system that transported guests over the African velvet. They were in the market to compete with Disney World near Orlando and had been in the process of expanding their area with land and attractions like Boma, a railroad, the African Village, and an amphitheater. The African Village was renamed to the Stanleyville section of the park, and the park's first thrill attraction, called Stanley Falls Flume, opened shortly after that. The closing of this log flume ride does not bring a huge surprise to me because I've been hearing about these rumors for a really long time. I just didn't know when it was gonna happen. From what I've seen on social media, I've seen a lot of people not mad, but more or less upset about the matter. The log flume model by Arrow is slowly becoming a dying breed. Trends show that you see one close every couple of years, and it's not like more can be made because Arrow does not exist anymore. My prediction of them closing is that they are just super expensive to maintain, as well as being a seasonal attraction. Busch Gardens is a year-round park, and it's also located in one of the hottest states in America with high humidity. With the closing of Tanganyika Tidal Wave, a shoot-to-shoot water ride in 2016, there has already been a lack of water rides at Busch Gardens Tampa. In terms of water attractions, after the log flume closes, there is the Congo River Rapids, Shikra Splashdown, which you don't really get wet on while on the ride. And there are a couple of splash pad areas like in Wild Oasis and Sesame Street, but those are normally for younger kids. I see this as a problem, especially in the summer months, aka their peak season, because almost everything to do with Busch Gardens is outside. I mean, the only air-conditioned ride at Busch Gardens Tampa is Cobra's Curse, but that's only in the queue line. There are a couple of inside shows and dining options, but that's about it. Compare this to the theme parks in Orlando, and they can get away with little to no water attractions. Look at Universal Studios, for example. They can get away with 0 water rides because most, if not all, of their thrill attractions are inside. Islands of Adventure has 3 water rides, but outside of peak season, they can operate just fine with 1, aka the iconic River Adventure. Even in the busy summer months, they can get away with this because the park offers plenty of indoor attractions and air-conditioned queues that help guests stay cool. I think even SeaWorld is getting the memo because they just opened a new indoor attraction called Expedition Odyssey, and like Busch Gardens, many of their attractions, animal exhibits, and queues are outside, but not as much as Busch Gardens. So what does the closing of the Stanley Falls Flume mean for the future of Busch Gardens? For one, I think Busch Gardens has a smart idea of closing the Stanley Falls Flume right now before the colder weather starts kicking in. Rumors are circulating around about what this exciting new future attraction will be. 2 things that I've heard is that there will be a Giga Coaster, which is a full circuit roller coaster that is over 300 feet tall, or this could become a water coaster. Realistically, I think this is going to turn into a water coaster, so sorry to all of the Busch Gardens Giga supporters out there. I don't think a Giga at Busch Gardens Tampa will be possible unless an attraction with a lot of footprint like Kumba is removed. A water coaster or some sort of water attraction is now desperately needed, especially with the closing of Stanley Falls Flume. I predict that they are going to work with Mock Rides because that is the same manufacturer that has worked on all 3 Journey to Atlantis rides at the SeaWorld parks in the United States. SeaWorld and Busch Gardens are also owned by the same company, United Parks and Entertainment. Not only that, but if y'all know me by now, I love theming and I love finding Easter eggs. Cobra's Curse is the best themed and storytelling ride at Busch Gardens Tampa, and it was also manufactured by Mock Rides. The potential that they have for this water coaster is insane. SeaWorld Orlando's Journey to Atlantis had an original and fun storyline, but during its 2017 refurbishment, they changed it to be more family friendly, so the storyline kinda just vanished. If Busch Gardens Tampa can pull something off like what SeaWorld did with Journey to Atlantis pre-2017, with a good storyline, effects, and ride layout, that would make that ride stand out so immensely, and that would bring in the crowds. There is a possibility that this water coaster could turn out to be the one like in SeaWorld San Antonio, where there isn't a storyline, but it is filled with some really good theming. But ideally something like SeaWorld Orlando or SeaWorld San Diego. And SeaWorld San Diego has a very cool storyline, great audio, and great effects. My only concern is if and when this water coaster opens up. If Busch Gardens starts with the deconstruction of the Stanley Falls Flume ASAP, I have hope and faith by next year, 2026, that they can open before or during summer peak season. And that brings up some other concerns. One, this past summer, while Oasis was supposed to open in the first week of June, but was delayed till mid-July. 2, Scorpion was a roller coaster manufactured by the defunct Schwarzkopf at Busch Gardens that closed in September 2024, but they did not touch the coaster until early May 2025. By touch, I mean the coaster just sat there and we all thought it was going to get sold off to another park, but it was literally demolished. And 3, the reopening of Kumba has been a speculation for months now. If y'all don't know, Kumba closed back in November 2024 for a number of unconfirmed reasons, like problems with the lift hill, possible sinkholes, and just a wear and tear on the track that needed to be fixed. They announced in late April 2025 that Kumba was going to reopen this summer, and we never really saw people working on it till early June. Like, guys, it's literally pumpkin spice season right now. It's not summer anymore, and at the time of me filming this video, they are still working on Kumba. The point that I'm trying to make is that unfortunately, Busch Gardens is pretty good at making false promises. They never really promised anything with Scorpion, but it was just really sad to see this coaster just decay in plain sight, especially since this is a super rare ride model. If they hypothetically open this water coaster next year before or during summer peak season, there is a slim chance it won't open when they say it will. If they do not open it by next year, I think there could be possibly a huge chance of a capacity problem during the summer because the log flume is a huge capacity eater. Like I said, guys, I have hope. So the Sand Serpent at Busch Gardens Tampa closed on July 9th, 2023, and Phoenix Rising officially opened on July 21st, 2024. So they did it within a year, and I have hope that they can do it with this water coaster as well. I have much hope. This water coaster has the potential to take up the plots of land where the Stanley Falls Flume is now and where Scorpion was. The log flume takes up about 2 acres of land, and the old plot of Scorpion takes up about 0.60. I know some of the Pantopia back area is barely used now, or it's just used for games, and I did some calculations, and honestly, if Busch Gardens really wanted to, they could have a water coaster of about 3.5 to 4 acres large. The water coaster Journey to Atlantis at SeaWorld is about 3 acres large. If Busch Gardens uses that unused space in Pantopia, a water coaster in that area could work. Well guys, those are just some of my thoughts on the matter. I think a lot of us are really gonna miss the Stanley Falls Flume. It's an attraction that a lot of us grew up with. I mean, same with Scorpion. I mean, it's seen its years of being over 50 years old. This ride and Congo remind me of the great fun times that Busch Gardens can offer during the summertime. And it just brings up really good childhood memories. It's also a very historical ride, and it's nothing that you'll see with any modern water ride today or modern attractions in general. I always find each ride is unique, and I will for sure miss the jank and the different types of splashdowns I get. Like sometimes I get little to no water, and sometimes I get totally drenched. I don't think it's gonna get sold off, and I'm pretty sure it will just go in the dumpster, and unfortunately that's just the sad reality of it. Comment down below what you think will replace the Stanley Falls Flume, and I would love to hear your thoughts on this matter. Thank you guys for watching Grace Adventures, where every day is a ride, and woo! May your next adventure be epic. Worth it. Definitely gonna miss this ride.